What's up, YouTube? It is I, DrMick, here again for part 17 of Horizon Forbidden West with a Therapist. I am so grateful that you've been watching all of these episodes and that you're following along with what is surely going to be a very long playthrough. Part 16 was quite interesting, and we have a nice, lovely continuation here of the Tanakh Thunderdome about to go down, you know? Less mouths to pour water into at the end of the day. That's what they say. It's a secondary motto of the Tanakh people. I learned that in the streets of the capital, you know. Anyway, leave a like, leave a comment, check the links down in the description. Come hang out with us. Those of you that buy merch and stuff like that, thanks for supporting the stream. I'm really grateful that you are willing to provide some level of financial support for this. Also, those of you that send tips my way, thanks for doing that. I'm like a bartender serving up drinks of psychological knowledge, and if you're like willing to throw a couple bucks down at me as a sign of gratitude for what you've learned, thank you for doing that. All right. So, without further ado, let's go see how this ends up. Boy. Chitaka's gonna hopefully give us some information to get in the middle of this. Draka has challenged Yara for command of the Desert Clan. Unless Aloy intervenes, mayhem will follow. Yes, of course. Unless I intervene. I'm the only one that can stop them. Gate of the Vanquished. Pretty metal name. They put a lot of effort into building this shit.
A lot of angry Tanakh. Draka and Yara are already here.
Oi! Howdy, folks!
The challenge has been issued.
You're their commander. You can stop this.
She can try.
Draka, I thought you were more reasonable, dude.
Walk with strength.
You're here.
And I thought you didn't care.
Aloy, did you come to witness the challenge?
Does there have to be a challenge?
Oh yeah, there does.
If you persist, all of these squads will join the fights. How many will die here? And how many will die in our villages once the retaliation begins?
There has to be another way.
Listen to what she has to say. You both owe her that much.
Oh, just throwing me right in the ring. Ha! All right, yeah. Good, Aloy, you're here. Take care of this. All right. Oh, God. As I like to state periodically in these moments, this is one of those things where I wouldn't get involved. Like, I would be like, you know what? You guys figure it out. I've got other shit I'm worried about, and if this is what you guys want to do with your time, I'm not, who am I to try to tell you to do something different? Like, it's just, you are not required to invest yourself in this moment here if you're Aloy. And instead of me avoiding these quests entirely, I'd like to just make that point before I talk it through. This is remarkably complicated. And it really brings to mind a point that I make in several different types of ways throughout all of these playthroughs, which is basically cost sunkenness. And how just because you've always done something a certain way doesn't mean that you have to continue doing it that way. At any point in time, the Tanakh could choose to do something differently to settle these disputes. They're not required to do this in order to navigate all of this bullshit. And there are a lot of folks that would be like, no, but it's culture, it's tradition, DrMick. You can't challenge that. Yes, you can. And you arguably should. you should absolutely challenge cultural bullshit in your own culture that doesn't make much sense. That's how we progress. And so if you look at something and you're like, this doesn't really make a lot of sense that we do this way because people die and it seems pretty petty, maybe we should rethink this as people who are in positions of power to do so, then you should do that. These two could absolutely decide right now. All right, fine. We'll hang it up. It's a really powerful force that people have to deal with, and people are more likely to continue with tradition and patterns and all this stuff when they are not willing or at times able to critically think their way through it. You know, unfortunately, a lot of groups and societies will attempt to indoctrinate their, not in like a nefarious way, but they'll essentially attempt to indoctrinate their folks into perpetuating all of these traditions and stuff, which often serves a purpose beyond what the immediate purpose here is. Pretty easy for people in positions of power to let other people in positions of power kill each other in these fights so they can maintain their own positions of power. Like, you should ask yourself who stands to gain from this. But again, that's aside from my point. My main point here being they absolutely could choose to do something different. It is sometimes easier to do that when you have an outsider like Aloy who decides to pop in and try to facilitate this, but you don't even necessarily need that. And if you're a person that hides behind, this is how it's always been, I can't do this, or I have to do this, you're really selling yourself short on your autonomy and your ability to change a sequence at any point in time.
Yara, do you really need to do this?
He sabotaged the wound.
No, he didn't.
You can't tell me you believe he knew nothing about it. And it was all part of his plan, to force a confrontation. Don't you see? This is what he's wanted all along. It doesn't matter how many die as long as he gets what he wants. Command of the clan. No. I'm putting an end to this. Now!
That was not a compelling argument at all. And I'm going to tell you why. She didn't talk about herself at all. She gave me nothing. What she just told me is everything I do is in reaction to my perception of things I have no way of knowing for certain. She's trying to tell me what he knows and what his motivations are and why he does what he does. You can't tell me that. That shit's not admissible in court. And if I'm a judge, I'm throwing that shit out. You can't tell me what he wants. She is so reactionary to her perceived intentions of him that she didn't even say, like, here's why I should survive this. Here's what I'm going to accomplish. Here's how he's a danger to what it is that I see as being the needs of my people. She's way too wrapped up in her personal bullshit with him and is projecting up the wazoo. So that was not compelling. That's a lesson in how not to plead your case to somebody who is trying to intervene and get a better understanding of what's going on here. Not good. Draka probably won't be much better, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see.
Draka, you lost a lot of good people hunting machine hearts to trade for water. You want to lose more now?
But that cost is exactly why I'm doing this. Why I had to send people to find other sources in the first place. I swear to you, I had nothing to do with what happened to the wound. Ukta came to me, said he found underground leaks that might lead to another well, that's all. I didn't tell him to screw it all up and drain the wound.
So stand down so we can all talk about this.
No! No more talking, no more lies. Yara can't be trusted. That's been proven.
He's not wrong. Right? Like, at least I get to hear a little bit about his intentions, what he was trying to accomplish. He didn't make a whole shitload of assumptions about her intentions or anything like that. He focused on the nuts and bolts of what happened. One of his men said that he found water, and he said, yeah, go figure it out because water's scarce. Like, that makes sense to me. Again, I wouldn't want to get involved in this, but the reality is, because I'm going to work with the known variables, which is the interactional dynamics that I just discussed with about each of them, and also with what I witnessed firsthand. And what I come down to is these people are trying to do the same thing. Like, this makes a lot of sense. You are trying to make sure that your people have water. And what blows my mind is that neither of you are willing to actually figure out how to make a working system that pushes the powers that be back at the Capitol and holds them accountable for the bullshit. Instead, we're fighting amongst each other for a resource that's already scarce enough. So, I don't particularly want to take sides here. If I have to, I'm going to take Draka's side. I mean, I believe that they both need to stand down. If they don't want to listen to that, then whatever. Right? Whatever happens, happens. I'm not, like, going to side with either of them, because I think they're both being ridiculous. They're both putting lives of their clan at stake by doing this. It's going to be hilarious if this leads to them being like, screw you, Aloy, we're going to fight it out. Which, if they do, that's not my problem. I said what I needed to say. I got the information I needed to get. You should both stand down. That's my 2 cents. You're both being dumb.
Is this how you two plan to save your clan? By causing a massacre over who gives the orders? Drop this foolishness and work together.
She's right. Put away your spears. Return to your homes.
Which means she stays in charge? Forget it.
You see? Replacing me is all he cares about. It's a vendetta. And it has to end here.
For once, we agree.
Pick a side, Aloy. Because we're settling this now.
Oh my god, really?
There must be a way to minimize the bloodshed.
The Tanakh never make things easy, do they?
I'm afraid not.
Okay. No. If I'm Aloy right now, I'm looking at both of them and going, fuck both of you, I'm leaving. You aren't putting that on me. Pick a side, Aloy. Kiss my ass. Now you're both just using me as a pawn. Instead of seeing me as somebody who can, open up an idea for you to lean in, now you just see me as somebody who can bolster your argument. Screw both of you. I'm out of here. Figure it out. Like, I got no time for that shit. None. I didn't need them to necessarily agree with me, but this whole pick a side Aloy shit, get out of here. So I'd walk away. Be like, you guys figure it out. Fine, kill each other. I don't care. I'll see you later. But because the game's forcing me to choose.
This isn't about Draka conspiring against you, Yara. It's about your people. You lied to them about the wound. You also said their survival is all that matters. Was that a lie too? If it wasn't, then stand down. Give Draka a shot at command.
It was no lie. Which is why I'll never hand over command to the likes of him.
Then fight us. Just us. You want to save lives? Keep your squads out of it.
I've seen how you fight. These soldiers are with me.
Then we stand with Aloy and Draka. Even numbers.
I'll take no joy in fighting either of you. New rules! We're keeping it to just us. Winner takes command.
This has to be one of the most annoying quest lines. Like, I'm really trying hard to, like, lean in and not get, like, really judgmental. and to sort of understand my annoyance here. Just sit and think for a second about what just happened. Oh, it's tradition. We have to do this. The groups have to come together. You got to have your followers. You got to have this. You got to have this. You got to have this. And then literally right now, she goes, change your rules. It's just us fighting. Never mind. Screw all the cultural, historical bullshit that goes into this. We're going to just do a complete 180 and we're all going to fight. Which tells you that this is all just bullshit. This is literally, all of this is social construction, and all of this is a ploy for people in positions of power to exert influence in whatever way they want to exert influence. It's all showy. It's all bullshit. This isn't about tradition. This is about finding a process that serves whatever means you need it to serve in this specific moment in time. That the rules are only important insofar as the people in these positions choose to perpetuate them. If she can pull a 180 on this right now and say, okay, never mind, we're just going to fight each other, we're going to buck tradition, and we're going to fight each other, then you could absolutely say we can solve this without fighting each other. If the rules are not rigid enough, like, you got to commit. Like, if you're going to commit to rigid rules, then you got to follow through with rigid rules. If you're going to try to sell me a bill of goods on these rules are what they are and they are static and they are unmovable, and then you in the last moment here say, you know what, never mind, let's switch it up. Miss me with that shit. I'm over it.
Oh boy, have I been looking forward to this.
Barely a wound.
What happened to just us? This doesn't look very just us to me.
Honor through strength.
It's over.
Well, you gonna make me wait around?
You didn't need to do that.
Ikaro didn't, and Regala bit him in the ass.
Okay, so what's the plan? The wound still doesn't have enough water for everyone.
I'll gather the leaders from all the desert villages. We'll figure it out.
For a second there, you sounded like a real commander.
Your confidence is inspiring. Here, take this. My thanks for what you did here today. You didn't have to get involved. I won't forget what you did, Desert Flame.
You know, I do appreciate that the game did force that. I mean, if they're going to be that rigid in it, fine. I mean, my annoyance is just with the rule change. But if this is something that they are going to do regardless, then they're going to... I can't change their behavior. I can only try to exert influence on it, and it didn't work. Well, the game didn't give me an option to walk away from it, so here we are. It just seems so dumb, but hey, glad. I'm glad that he's like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to other leaders. Hopefully, he can be diplomatic, but
Draka will do his best to listen. It's all we can ask for.
I mean, that felt like the right decision. If you're gonna make me choose between the two of them, he at least was talking about trying to do stuff for his people rather than focusing her entire existence on the reaction to him. So, is this a cauldron? I'm about to freak all these people out by opening this up. Damn! It's a long piece of rope I was carrying.
The wing's holding up.
Aldrin Gemini.
Not getting out the way I came in. There must be an exit somewhere.
Cauldron Gemini. Find the vents.
Made it. That was a long climb.
Interesting. All right, well, not gonna worry about it for now. Let's go. Okay. I am going to really quickly go tuck my wife into bed, and then I'll be back, and we will keep traversing the lands. So thanks for being here. Hang tight. Okay.
Gotta brace myself against this wind.
Hope you enjoyed watching the sunrise. Woo! Let's make our way. Let's see. Nostrum Tinker seeks to separate strange. Okay, that one we're not going to do. Drowned Hopes. Paracarja Academic seek to return. Okay, don't have that one. The Deluge. Let's see. Go to Bleeding Mark. Man, do I really want to go? Talk to the Pitmaster. Oh, I guess I do want to go. Well, no. I don't want to do the Pitmaster. Man. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Going south. I'm a big ass bull. Cool if I could have set the waypoint and then like had Aloy ride this there while I went upstairs to go tuck my wife in. It's a pig? I don't know. Is it? Oh, I guess it is. It looks like a boar. Oh, baby. The stratosphere. Vegas, baby. A big old Thunderjaw running around by the strat. Oh, baby.
Won't get much use out of shock ammo.
Yeah, that was me, bitch. Bro. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Ooh-wee. Is my beloved stratosphere okay? Okay, good. I'm so excited. We are on the north end of the Las Vegas Strip. Apparently, Fremont Street is completely covered up. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man.
This must be the ruins of Las Vegas. Poseidon shouldn't be far.
Oh, it sure is, Aloy. You better believe it is. You're telling me I can't get up into the stratosphere? No way. Gotta be a way. There's always a way. Yeah, there's shit up there. Is that Cappuccino Clash event? Data corruption minimal. Bet big on the Cappuccino Clash of the Century this Saturday at the Vodka Hotel and Casino. What a lame name. Columbia Coffee Plantation lots 5223 through 5300, some of the richest plantations in the Paisa region, are in contest. And the Fresh Grounds USA and Grasset Limited Swiss drone fleets are gearing up for a true rumble in the jungle. Place your wagers by 11:59 a.m. And don't forget to make reservations for flight deck seats that grant you a pilot's view of the action. 2-drink minimum for all attendees. The grapple point. Oh, there we go. The hell? Whoa, you gotta get fancy. Yeah! There we go, in the strat. This restaurant rotates around in real life. Very cool. Get a whole view of the valley, and it just spins ever so slowly. Anything else cool in here? And there's like this like thing that there's like the ride that you can go on and it like spins around and it like goes off the building. It's crazy. All right, go. Oh, Aloy. No. Let's go. Let's get this figured out. It's just a stratosphere, Aloy. How hard could it be? You know? It's a big ass deposit. Green shine slab.
Keep this green shine for later.
Okay. I gotta be able to climb the antenna. Come on. Come on. No? Alright. Well, regardless. Alright, let's see how much of this is actually recognizable. So, Paris is right there. Which would mean that... So Circus would be right here. But I'm guessing this is a slightly condensed version of this. Like, that should be... That's theoretically going to be like Excalibur. New York would be over here. The Win would be over there. There's got to be lots of cool lore. I've always wanted to hang glide off the stratosphere. Oh, man. You theoretically, with the right zoom, you could theoretically see my house from the stratosphere if you were on top of it. And the reason I know that is because I can see the stratosphere from my home. I'm talking about in real life. I highly doubt that Henderson, Nevada is in this game. I feel lucky that Las Vegas is even in it.
Can't reach that from here.
Oh God. A lot of glint hawks. I don't really want to fight them. But I'm gonna. Oh, God. Where are you, birdie? What the hell is it? Where's the birdie? Oh, there he is.
Gotcha!
Okay. There's like some lore up there, so. Donation offer. Text mail from Richard Velasquez to Micah Cardori. Subject slot machine donation. March 12th, 2052. Dear Miss Kadori, would the museum be interested in obtaining 3 slot machines impacted by the 2037 hot zone crisis? These machines, in operation at the Vodka Hotel and Casino at the time, had their electronics fried by the blast wave of the tragic explosion that ended the Battle of the Mojave. In my opinion, they symbolize the larger impact of the conflict, not only technically, but also culturally, as the environmental crisis and ensuing war nearly shut down Vegas for good. Vodka Holdings Ltd., Vodka Holdings Limited, would be happy to donate the machines to the museum and handle all shipping costs if you'd have them. Keep up the good work. Richard Velasquez, Technical Director at the Vodka Hotel and Casino. Ah, the Mojave Wars. Can't wait for those. Can tell you who won't be listening. This guy. Oh man, it's just hanging out in Vegas. It's awesome.
That ruin looks a little more intact than some of the others out here. Could be the one that Oseram Delver told me about. Might be worth taking a look inside.
Maybe.
A relic. Wonder how I can get in there to get it.
Great question, Aloy. Figure it out. Oh God. There we go.
of water in here. That's kind of refreshing after wandering around the desert outside.
Well, why would there be so much water in here? That's the question. Be able to get up there somehow.
Looks like there's a drain beyond that grate in the wall.
There is. Yeah.
Wonder what a merchant would trade for this.
I don't know, Aloy. We haven't really found out yet, have we?
This crate could come in handy.
Alright. Key over there. Really solid music. I wonder if... trying to figure out which casino this is supposed to be, if it's an existing one. Is this a real life hotel or casino? I'm not entirely sure yet. I can't quite figure out which one it looks like.
Water flowing towards the drain in the wall. Whoa. Water's right.
Oh god, it's like the water temple.
Door's locked. Looks like it needs a key module.
Good thing there's a key module over here.
A key
Reminds
module.
me of the mall on the strip. What, fashion show mall? I don't know. I mean, the ceiling... I don't think it's the Bellagio. I don't think it's Fashion Show Mall. I mean, it's in the location that Fashion Show Mall would be. Theoretically. It's just hard to get the, like, the scale down. I'm gonna have to find the coordinates, maybe. Or the, no, this should just open it.
Okay, I'm in.
All right.
Let's see what I can do with this.
I'm gonna need to raise the water level one more time, it looks like. Come on. Beat smart poker. Advert, data corruption partial. How often are we told not to show our emotions in poker? Keep a straight face, avoid showing tells. Macau gaming mogul Kendrick Ustin shows us how old tactics are all wrong in his groundbreaking new strategy guide, Beat Smart Poker AI by Playing Dumb. Defeat casino AIs in 5 illogical steps that are simple to learn but hard to detect. Beat the house, crash the system, make a fortune. Now available for all Hollow readers for the low price of only Data Corrupted. Never get to see the price. A little bait and switch. I don't know. If I had to guess, I would guess that this is probably the Bellagio. Is this all gonna drain? No. I don't think it's Caesar's Palace. Because it doesn't make sense location-wise if this is Caesar's Palace. I care way too much about what casino this is. Oh shit. Man, with all the mobility you have in this game, it must have been a pain in the ass for the devs to like make these things so that you had to go the direction they wanted you to go.
I wonder if they can float.
They can, I'm sure.
Hot as an Osram forge, as Erend would say.
Nowhere. I'm amazed that this thing floats. But I guess we'll just have to push this. Orem shots fits visually. Again, it's like one of those things though where location wise, I mean I get oh shit. Okay, so there's an area right there. There's no... I don't think I can grab this crate when I'm under the water like this. Unless I have to, like, pull it. That wouldn't make any sense, though.
this close.
Why can I not grab this? There's no way this is how I'm supposed to do this.
Okay, 2 crates. What to do with them? I'll create some distance first.
Kind of amazing if this is the way I'm supposed to do this. Go up. Really? Wow, Trixie putting this little fence here.
Now I'm getting somewhere.
Ha!
Here we are.
It's a looks like a clown.
Okay, got the relic. I'll hold on to it for now. Figure out what to do with it later.
Don't go overboard, Tom. But this is Vegas, baby. Stole Kyle's precious balls right out from under him. The ones he wouldn't shut up about all night. Tit for tat, Kyle. But now the gang wants to just dump them all here? Nah. We got to think bigger. Looks like old Tomcat's got to be the brains of this operation. Golden toucans out. Alright, we got it done. Just give me, please tell me there's an easy out here. Okay, so that's done. Oh, come on. Oh, baby, Vegas at night would normally be very pretty. It's not gonna be now.
Maybe I can reach something higher up if I stand on the crate while it's floating.
Aloy, we're done with this place. We either cheesed it or figured it out. Yeah, okay, because there's Caesar's Palace right there. That's Caesar's. And Caesar's... Yeah, I don't think this is the Bellagio. Maybe it is. Or, I mean, I guess me... Whatever. Whatever. I'm not gonna belabor it. Let's go... this way.
Maybe I should take one more look around before I go. See if there's anything else interesting.
Like what? We got the thing we needed. Does the Bellagio have scrolled columns? Not that I can think of. It's kind of fun trying to figure it out, and Also kind of frustrating. Okay. Up here.
Gaia said this is where I'd find Poseidon. Water's pouring out of that building. Poseidon's doing? I better check it out.
So Poseidon. This is not a building I recognize, so this must have been added. Arasaka added this in 2077.
Someone's been through here.
Tower of Tears? Holy shit. I guess it makes sense because there's water coming out. It's like it's crying. But what a bleak name.
Camping gear. Looks like there's something behind that tarp.
Maybe that's what's left of the fountains. Yeah, they built this giant tower on top of the fountains after they put the Formula 1 track in and took the trees out. There was no going back. Makes sense.
I almost had him. Oh, I was so close.
To drowning, maybe. Not to the embers. Morland, it's over.
Well, not for me, it's not.
Then you're going to die. Alone. Because we're not sticking around to fish out the corpse. We're through.
And so the visionary's fate hung in the balance. Would he choose life or succumb to deadly delusion?
Hello. So, there's an ancient city under the sand, but it's flooded.
Suddenly, a Nora spear maiden appeared.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're not typical Delvers. That's for sure. What's this?
I call it a diving bubble. This is the Mark 1. The Mark 2 was better, but it got stuck halfway down. Air tube snagged.
You went down in that.
Yeah, I hardly expect a layperson to understand.
Because that's pretty smart.
I'm sorry. May I remind you, you got stuck inside and nearly drowned.
It'd have to be portable, though. Machine kneecap, maybe?
Well, you'd need a filter.
Synthetic membrane would do it. With a hose to a
Compressed air capsule. Hammer and tongs.
What is this? What is happening here? What? Get over here. She's a stranger.
You got a name?
Aloy.
Moreland. Not a stranger anymore.
You're a damn fool.
Come on. I got the original schematics over here.
Oh, well, hold on. Just a couple of questions first.
Fair enough. Partner?
Partner?
Don't mind him.
What's so important down there that you'd risk your life?
Well...
Moreland, I'm not interested in salvage, okay? Whatever you find below is yours.
Well, all right. Then what if I told you we were delving for the most spectacular treasures ever scribed by man or maid?
I'd say get to the point.
No nonsense. I like it. Behold, an ember.
Hey, I've seen those.
Looks like a piece of junk.
Well, now, yes, but with a proper spark. These magnificent creations of the old ones paint mesmerizing pictures in the air, and the ruins below us are full of them. A feast for the eyes beyond description. Just as my old Gramps promised me.
How did your grandfather discover these embers?
He was here 40-odd years ago. He was one of the first to lead a delving party into the West. He discovered the ancient city around us, plumbed the depths of this very structure. He found the hollow underneath and the glowing embers all about. Took as many as he could and brought them home. He always wanted to come back and get more, but, well, he never scraped up the shards. What he really wanted to do was use the embers to put on a show. One unlike the world has ever seen.
Sounds like quite a guy.
He was a true delver and a true showman. And I miss him. But I will do him proud. I will gather the embers and put on a spectacle that would have amazed even him. With your help, of course.
Is that right? Okay.
So these embers project images?
Paintings of light. It's amazing stuff. This one showed the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, beckoning all to a buffet of lobster and succulent beefs. I must have watched it about 100 times as a child in my old Gramps' workshop.
What happened to it?
Over time, they die out. I cried the day that this one's light faltered. But there are many more below, as you'll see if you get down there like I did and my old Gramps before me.
It's such a... Something feels so weird about this interaction to me. Not necessarily like in a bad way, but like this guy is like really comfortable talking to Aloy. In a world where everybody we come across pretty much is hesitant and scared and skeptical, this dude is just like, hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm gonna start telling you all this cool shit that I'm doing. What's up? Have a seat. Look what I'm doing. You're gonna help me. I mean, I get that there's like a kindred spiritedness amongst the fact that they have like a shared interest in engineering and stuff. But man, he's just... all right. I'm going to take this in a bit of a weird angle here. When people... well, I'm going to take it in two angles. One's weird, one's not. When people talk about struggling with social anxiety, there are many facets to being more comfortable in social spaces and adept, as it were. And one of the ways that you can cut through that awkwardness and potentially mitigate your anxiety is to find shared interest. And I actually think that shared interest is something that is even more important than shared experience. There's a lot of people that will engage in these types of social situations by talking about things that they believe are experiences they have that are relatable to the people around them. And that's a big roll of the dice, because there's a real chance that the people around you won't necessarily know that, or how to connect with it, or have a shared experience like that to be able to like go there. But shared interest can really start to move the chains. And it became pretty clear early on here that Aloy shares an interest in engineering and in novel ideas by the way that she reacted to that contraption that he made and her finishing his sentence and all that stuff. And so that immediately disarmed him and her. Like, they're having a very disarmed conversation right now. They're just chilling. He's just talking to her about what he's been trying to accomplish. He shares a little bit about his life. He talks to her about some new tech. Like, this dude warmed right up because he perceives her as having a shared interest and thus likely having similar values to him. Which in this case is great. But here's the weird angle I'm going to take on this. There are people who can absolutely take advantage of that. I'm not a person that tends to go in the direction of like, you should be skeptical of every single person you meet, because that's a pretty miserable experience, and for the most part, people are cool. But people who are abusive, or even worse, but let's just keep it at abusive here, can sometimes, or manipulative, or use people for their own agenda, can become very adept at realizing that if you share interests with people, or if you have the ability to fake a shared interest in something that another person has, it becomes immediately disarming oftentimes to people. And that can be a way to take advantage of folks. It's sort of the dark side to this. It's what makes this a bit fascinating to me, because this dude really is kind of being vulnerable out here in the Wild West, and this person who just walked in and Tanakh the armor shares this interest with him, and he immediately goes in the direction of opening up, which means that he probably has a degree of like security and confidence in who he is and what he cares about. Some people might perceive this as threatening, or some people might use this in a not so great way. Regardless, I think it's better to focus on the point here that search for shared interest, even more so than searching for shared experience. And you will likely find that there is shared experience there. So ask questions about a person. Like, when a person shows that they're interested in something, ask questions about it. If it seems that a person might have some degree, like if you see something on them or they mention something that shows that there's a shared interest there, talk about it in that way. Don't say, oh, I did that too. Like, I went to Disney World too. Say, ooh, I also like Disney. What do you like about it? Get people to talk about their interests, and then you start to have more comfortable conversations like this if you're somebody who struggles with anxiety around these things.
So what exactly happened down there?
It was a delve like no other. A chance to follow my old Gram's footsteps. Beneath this structure here is an enormous hollow, a dome protected from the sands. We built this elevator here to ensure easy egress and exit. It's quite a contraption, actually, and not so easy to...
Right. Again. What happened?
At the bottom, we beheld the treasure my Gramps first discovered. Painted images in the air of every description. Dancing women, and games, and coins, and promises of jackpots. I don't know what that is, but it's gotta be good.
Gotta be good.
But then, something went wrong. The images turned nautical. Waves went through them, even fish. It's like a strange underwater dream.
The aquarium at
Science
Mandalay Bay
dream.
broke up. Oh.
Yes. Well, suddenly there was this terrible rushing sound, and then an explosion of water erupted from the floor.
Go on.
So water just shot up from the floor and filled the place up?
It was a raging flood unlike anything I've seen. We ran like forge fire and barely made it up the elevator as a wave just crashed beneath us. Shaken, but not stirred. I built the diving bubbles Mark 1 and Mark 2. I tried the descent in each, but I nearly drowned both times. Abaddon's beside himself. He thinks I'm insane. But I can't give up now. I've come too far. And the embers are just barely within my reach.
Well, maybe I can help.
Yeah. Maybe you can.
And then you're gonna give me that contraption so I can go use it in Lake Mead.
You guys don't seem like average delvers.
We're not really delvers at all. We're showmen.
Like, performers?
You're Nora, and thus unfamiliar with the arts. We stage spectacles all around the claim. Stemmer tells stories, which I augment with all manner of sounds and fireworks, and Abaddon, he, well...
Complains?
He handles the money, which amounts to about the same thing. When we delve, it's to find gear for my theatrics. Which makes this delve the most important one of all.
Or take acting classes and improv classes, you'll be really good at social situations too. We just ran into theater kids. Sweet. That's actually kind of cool. Like, oh yeah, we delved to try to find stuff for our performing arts. Yeah. So I mean, this guy has learned a level of engagement in human. But I mean, you know, when you take acting and improv classes, you inherently have to learn about like human behavior and how to handle the anxiety and uncertainty of certain engagements. And so this guy's learned how to control engagements, which is why he's such a smooth talker. Pretty awesome. Look at this. We're getting diverse representation of the Ostrom.
How deep is it? Can't I just swim down?
Only if you have gills. You can stack 50 kegs in that shaft.
Leave it to the Osserum to measure something in kegs.
Talking liquid depths, I'd say it's apt.
Apt or not, sounds too deep to hold my breath.
Hence, our new invention.
But not only is he a theater guy, I mean, he's a techie.
I'd better get after those parts.
There's a fully intact compressed air capsule in the Mark II, but like I said, it's stuck in the shaft.
If you made it back up alive, I should be able to swim down that far.
All right. As for the other parts, Stemmer scouted a herd due south of here that should have what we need.
I'm on it.
Great. I'll come back when you get the gear. Good hunting.
I was not expecting this at all. Oh, damn. That does go way down. Come on. Up you go, Aloy. Go. Go.
Got the compressed air capsule. Now, to get all the machine parts.
Probably get a guest list of 50. So we'd need at least 3 dozen kegs. Brown ale, maybe. No. For him, scrapper sap.
Are you planning a party?
Budgeting for Moreland's funeral, thanks to you. I was this close. We were gonna move on. Leave all this nonsense behind, then you come along, you spark your wet noodle idea.
It's going to work.
I've heard that before.
I'm sure you have.
So, how does someone like you end up working for someone like Morland?
I work with Morland. We got 3 equal claims in this venture. I saw one of his early shows. Back when it was just him and his inventions. Works of flame, lights, and shadows, all kinds of gizmos. Never seen the like.
Oh, did you fall in love?
But the man is all spectacle.
No.
No sense. Bleeds shards like you get the idea. Without me to handle the finances, his dreams would be sunk.
No pun intended, huh?
More sunk.
Yeah.
Wish we were back in the claim. Plenty of normal shows to do without the salvage from this blasted place.
And yet, you're here, in the middle of the desert, delving for his dream.
It was a good one. But sometimes, a dream has to die.
This dream of Morland's.
Is going to get him killed.
Let's say it doesn't. What happens after he gets the salvage down there?
Then we put on the greatest show the world's ever seen. We'll have special seating, premium ale, the works. Morland will do his light spectacle thing. Stemmer will get their eyes a-sparkling with his tales, and I'll be selling tickets. It's a nice thought, anyway.
These guys have some real personality. I just admire the character creation and development here. Like, these guys are genuinely compelling to listen to.
Morland mentioned you were showman.
What? An Osram can't be anything other than a delver, tinker, or drunkard? Okay, sure, we are delvers too, but that is not our main source of income. Mostly, we go town to town, putting on shows.
These shows, what are they? What happens at them?
Tales and spectacle. Morland's got the technical know-how. Builds all manner of inventions, whirligigs of light and sound, cannons that shoot fire, and showers of sparks, and Stemmer
Keeps them enthralled. Tales of adventure in the smoothest baritone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
And you?
Me? Who do you think handles the financials for the whole blasted thing? Those two might have the sparks, but do you think they know their way around shards? No, they don't.
So Morland was down in this ancient city, and
The 3 of us went down below.
you?
I can delve too.
Right. And, then what happened?
What do you think? Water rushed in, we ran. And Morland built that blasted thing. Nearly got himself drowned. Twice. You want the finer details of his stupidity? You go ask him.
This
No.
dream.
That we'll have Morland Stemmer. It's a nice... I'm always willing to engage in some commerce.
Is that right? Thunderbolt Shredder Gauntlet. Osram Stalker. And not really into that. You know what I am into? The music in this part. Just all night has been fabulous.
I'll leave you alone.
Do us a favor. Leave us all alone.
I seem to have frustrated you, sir. I think it's understandable.
The stout-hearted huntress approached. Her appearance as sudden as a spark of destiny, and the delve was at its direst.
That's, quite the introduction.
Maybe a little internal rhyme instead. A maiden arose from the very sands that bore our woes. Nah, too trite.
What is it with you and all the... words?
That's what I do. The stalwart storyteller gazed upon the maiden with well-earned pride in his life's work. Stemmer wordsmith, at your service.
That dude gets laid. Guaranteed. That's the most charming shit ever. Also, I can't get over the fact that he looks like, what's his name? Kenneth Copeland. He's like that grifter preacher guy that looks like a demon and like scams people out of their money and talks about how God wants him to fly in a private jet and shit. I think you guys know who I'm talking about. I just can't get, every time like looking at this guy, I just like can't get him out of my mind. Oh man, what a smooth, that's just smooth, man. No, not Joel Osteen. No, Copeland, I think is his last name. Joel Osteen's the guy who closed his big ass church to the folks of Houston when they were going through hurricanes and shit. But that's neither here nor there. Regardless, it doesn't matter. It's just like he.
How did you end up following Moreland out here?
Bright-eyed Moreland held his dreams aloft like a burning candle. And where that light went, the hearts of men were sure to follow.
So you admire him?
Admiration is but a gentle fire. It's the spark that delvers and tinkers and rogues alike are sure to warm to.
Okay, guess that answers something. Your friend over there doesn't like me too much. The loud one.
The old bean counter has the personality of a moss-eaten rock. But oh, what a wicked mind for money. And a memory as long as life, or even the smallest debt.
By that, he means he owes me shards. 147, to be exact.
But as sharp as he was in things pecuniary, he had a dull forgetfulness for how many times a certain wordsmith saved his hoary hide.
147. 147.
What exactly does a wordsmith do?
Like a tinker at the forge, a wordsmith hammers out words to entrance all who hear them. The young, the old, and frequently, the inebriated.
I didn't take the Osram for storytellers.
Well, they say the only thing makes a cold brew go down easier is a tale of times gone by.
But it's always best to hit the road before the keg runs dry.
Why? Why's that?
Oh.
Oh, well, the Osram can get mighty agitated if they run out of drink, or if they don't like your story.
Got to go see someone about an underwater city.
And lo, the huntress went forth.
Now, if you're sitting here live, or if you're watching this VOD on YouTube, I encourage you to take a second here and ask yourself if you found the three of them, two of them, or one of them to be particularly endearing to you. And if so, I want you to ask yourself why. What is it about them that reeled you in? Why is it that you might be more inclined to give these people the benefit of the doubt, or to trust them, or why'd you feel good, or why'd you smile listening? I'm sure there's any number of answers that you might get from yourself or from others if you happen to be watching this with other people who answer that question. But really ask yourself that, because they are very compelling. Particularly Wordsmith. And the reason, there's many reasons for that, but one of the primary reasons for that is that he speaks confidently and he moves and engages with intention. In order for him to do that cool narrating that he does in as compelling of a way as he does it, he has to pay attention. He has to watch. He has to make careful observations of patterns, and then patterns in context and anomalies. He's got to watch. And then he speaks in a way that is very controlled. He moves in a way that is very controlled. There's not a single presentation part of him that looks like it's reacting to the scenario in front of him. He appears to be controlling it. And many folks find a deep comfort in that. If you want to get better at social interactions, if you want to be somebody that people find more compelling and engaging to talk to, you don't have to be a narrator like that guy, but think about ways that you can emulate and inject what you just saw from them into your engagements. Think about how you might be more intentional about how you move through a space, about how you might focus more on what you say based on what you've heard and observed and listened to, rather than being in your own head about it. Like, there's a real power and sophisticated amount of engagement in a person's ability to be intentional and mindful with their words and how they present themselves. And you will endear people to you the more you practice it. That's a practice skill. That's not an innate character trait that guy has. That guy didn't wake up one morning when he was 5 years old and start telling compelling stories. Like, that's a skill that guy developed to be able to do that. And it makes a huge difference. And I could make the argument that Moreland falls similarly into that category. His calmness, his high degree of engagement comes from carrying himself confidently, speaking directly, being mindful of their audience. Very important stuff from a interpersonal engagement standpoint. And I think it's really neat that these guys are so are written in this way. I think they all care about each other despite their differences. Between that, their care for passion for their craft makes them be trustworthy. So here's what's amazing about that comment. We don't know that that's true. We don't know that they care about each other despite their differences. We don't know that they have a passion for their craft. We just think they do because of the way they presented themselves. We're already giving these people these extra value attributions that are positive because of the way that they've shown themselves in this space. We've been moved by their presence and their gravitas. And it's kind of amazing. We start to assume intentions that are positive. We start to assume all sorts of things about them because of the way they carry themselves. So they are not only controlling the engagement with Aloy, they're controlling the way in which they're internalized by her and perceived by her, in the absence of data to suggest that any of that is true. I mean, I'm splitting hairs a little bit here, and I'm being a bit obtuse, but like there, to an extent, that is true. Like people get the benefit of the doubt when they are perceived to be passionate and confident and controlled. We find a degree of comfort in that oftentimes without even knowing it in people who show up that way. And if you're a person who knows how to show up that way, you know that that's the case, and people learn how to work with that. But all of us, or many of us, I'm not going to say all of us, many of us are capable of being compelling in that way. So long as you are working on the way that you show up interpersonally, because it is a skill. They could be the worst con artists in the entire West. These people could be mass murderers. These people could be like Oseram public enemy number one. And we happen to find them in here, and they're so engaging and charismatic, and we just were like, oh yeah, awesome. Sure, I'll dive down that shaft. Sure, I'll go to that herd. I'll grab these parts of this contraption that I think you're right. Like, we just go along with it. We're like, yeah, cool. And we're like, not even hesitant. We're like, we want to help them. One common trait that's shared by many like serial killers and stuff is that they're charismatic. I'm not saying that you should question every single person you come across who's engaging like this. But again, it's really fascinating how this stuff works to move certain interactions and perceptions in a particular way. And I have personally always found that incredibly fascinating. I took a lot of improvisation and acting classes when I was younger, when I was a kid, and I did a lot of improv, and becoming more aware of the way in which you fill space and how you captivate audiences is deeply important, and can get you in favor of the folks around you and can get you the benefit of the doubt. It's just, I find it really interesting. So what would you say about somebody maybe being turned off by them because they see it as fake, given that they're theater people? Well, that's perfectly reasonable too, right? Like, and then what's cool about that is it's you leaning into what your previous experiences might be. It's leaning into, okay, well, wait a second. What experience have I had with people who presented that way that was maybe problematic? Have I been screwed by somebody who was like this? I mean, these guys could be timeshare salesmen. Charisma is something that I believe everybody should be aware of from a very well-rounded perspective, because we are susceptible to charisma, and sometimes that works out in our favor and sometimes that does not, depending on the way in which a person who is bringing charisma to an engagement chooses to wield it. Which is why I hope that you did, what I said, and take a second and just ask yourself how you perceived those guys and what did it bring up in you? Because these are the types of things that I think help folks understand social interactions and what you bring to them in a much more powerful way. And you can learn from that. So, very cool interaction here. Like, this was out of nowhere. I was not expecting this at all.
According to Moreland, the herd should be south of here.
Go to the machine herd. Where the hell is the machine? Okay. Jeez. This place doesn't know how to set waypoints for me. Ooh, a drone. Go jump on top of the Excalibur and bring it down. Where's T-Mobile Arena?
Another Cyclops drone. Gotta grab its data to reconnect with the dome back at the base.
Ken, thanks for gifting that sub, by the way. Appreciate it.
Well, this is where Moreland said the herd would be. They must have moved on. I need to pick up their trail. Better look for tracks.
First, let me grab this green shit that we never sell. Generous supply cache.
Stuff for the stash. There. Tracks should lead me to the herd.
Take me to the herd.
There's the
Okay.
herd.
Oh.
I should have the parts I need.
Go.
Machines. Deal with them first. Okay, now it's just me and the herd.
Kangaroos and boom.
Got him. I should check if one of these machines has an intact membrane.
Okay. Machine kneecap.
The kneecap. Good. I should have all the parts to build this thing now. Better get back to Moreland.
Cool. We did
Oh,
it.
the storm's whipped up a sand spiral. Great.
Jeez, chill, Aloy. It's probably fine. What is all this? Oh, shit. Complaint log. Text log, data corruption minimal, room number 1620, 113532. I'm not usually the type to complain, but the laundry bot tore my dress, and I'm desperate, as this is my big night, and I don't know what to do. The lobby bots kept referring me to an auto trailer on the other side of the strip, but they're closed. Can I please talk to a human staffer? Room number 1120, 113701. I ordered a bridal suite overlooking Mount Charleston, but we're seeing the Hoover Dam instead. We tried changing the hotel window settings ourselves, but it switches back to Hoover or downtown view every time. Could you change the system settings to the West Vegas panorama view as per our reservation? Room 0160, 134520. I repeatedly called about the holo login and demand a swift answer as I have money on 6 props in the sports book. My interface was glitchy from 12 o'clock onwards with servers down from 12:40. Action was promised on monitor, but no reboots yet. God, to be a customer service person in Vegas. Holy shit. Tip your bellhops. Paid good money to be here, like I deserve better.
My pulse is getting quicker.
Just shit. I think the bellhops became bellbots. You're probably right. You're probably right. I'm sure a lot of shit got automated. No doubt. Just stealing safes that were in the,
They caught on.
What? Oh. Get out of here, stupid ass bird. Okay. No, come on, man. Ugh. What are we doing here, Aloy?
Won't work from this angle.
Of course it won't. I probably have to walk out on this angle if Aloy would walk out on the beam. Thank you. Lord tidbit we got at the Stratosphere about people making sports bet on corporate drone warfare just gave me a ghoulish thought. I wonder if there was a sports betting on the battles of Operation Enduring Victory. I don't know, man. It wouldn't surprise me, I guess. Pretty wild if that was the case. I mean, people will bet on anything, man. People will bet on... in Europe, I don't think you can do it in the United States, but I remember in like 2020, people were, like the sports radio was talking about it, like people could bet on who was going to win the election. Like the presidential election and stuff. Like, people find ways to be able to bet on just about anything if they try hard enough. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Get a little skin in the game in the war. Why not? Okay, why did I just pull that out? Like, what did that do? This is such a...
Quiet breaths now.
Here's Battalion 7 against the Pacific Northwest Ted Pharaoh Swarm. Place your bets. Yeah. Yeah, how many Pharaoh bots are going down? Bleak, man. You can totally see it, though. Alright, I don't really understand why pulling those out was important, so I'm prepared to just move on. I'm sure there's probably something cool up there that we can eventually get to. But for now, ain't gonna worry about it. Interesting that this tower goes... This is a pretty tall tower anyway. Interesting that this tower goes all the way down as far as it does. All the way to the bottom. Walk the streets of Las Vegas. Which will make for a pretty neat episode in part 18 when our playthrough becomes an adult. I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna be honest. I'm running out of gas. So this feels like a good place to stop. But we'll make the contraption and we'll make our way down in the next episode. Pretty good. But the good news is, for those of you that are here on Twitch live, the next episode is tomorrow. So. But thank you, friends, for making it through this playthrough, another episode. I realize that this game is progressing pretty slowly, but there's a lot of cool stuff to do, so I'm enjoying taking it in. Christian, thanks for gifting that sub to Jens. And YouTube, thanks for continuing to watch these. Twitch, thanks for being here live. Y'all are fantastic. Thank you for supporting these. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a comment if you feel so inclined. Follow the links down in the description. If you're binging, I'll catch you on the next episode right away. If you are waiting for the next one to come out, get it out to you as soon as we can. Your support means the world to me. Keep doing it. And tell your friends. And I'll see you on the next one.